Simon, 32-26 win over Sheffield here in the Steel City. We showed lots of steel to get back into that game after that half-time deficit, didn't we?
Yeah, Sheffield were brilliant, so firstly, credit to them. They've come for a really tough period, and it was like we just expected them to play like the tired Sheffield everyone's saying they will be, and they were totally opposite. They completed high. I think they had 10 sets before we'd got to end of 3. And in the end, 4 drop balls, errors from us, they get 4 tries. Really poor, looking for someone else to try and lift us a little bit. I thought we were really poor first half. But yeah, credit to them, they took their chances. They played really good. They're a really good offensive team. They put in some tough positions, and particularly first half, we just didn't have the energy or want at times to get to where we needed to be, which made life difficult for us. And obviously, half-time probably came. The try just before half-time was pretty sad, but it came at a good time for us just to sort of have a breath and reassess, really.
What was missing at half-time? Was it as simple as just cut out the errors and the game will come?
Just kind of what I've said in different language. We've turned up expecting them to roll over, really, is what my message were. And rugby is a technical game, there's all the little bits in it, but the simple stuff, don't turn the ball over in poor areas, play them at the right end of the field, and everything becomes a little bit easier. And challenged them a little bit. We were in a similar position, was it 2 or 3 weeks ago down in London, and challenged them, told them what I thought were going to happen down there, and I were right, unfortunately. But tonight, challenged them a little bit again. However, I did expect them to come out the right side of it this time, and learn the lessons from the last one, so really happy about that. And I think that the obvious stat was, 20 out of 23 completed. 4th game in a week, and if we'd have started in that fashion, I think we'd have had an easy night ourselves. But yeah, in the end, they took it to the last minute, didn't they? Really, because we were still in it in the last stages there, and we come up with just enough. Sometimes you can't be perfect, and we were far from it tonight, and we managed to get the 2, so we'll happily take them and get on our back.
A couple of headline grabbers in Joe Rundle getting the hat-trick, but also Corey Aston back into the side. Has he given you a bit of a selection headache with losing you 3 out the side?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, difficult time for Corey, not in the team, then made the decision to go on loan, which is the benefit of going on loan, come back and you're in shape to go jump in and play. And I think Joe's transition out full time. We've given him a bit of benefit of doubt and a bit of time, a bit of leeway. But I think his last 2 games are his best 2 for the club. If he continues in the same vein for the rest of the season, we'll be happy. But there's a lot of other stuff in the background there. Zach McComb dislocated his shoulder a couple of weeks ago, put his hand up to play. Obviously a late inclusion, which meant we had 7 rotations as opposed to the usual 8. That was just due to Louis Jouffre got infection, something, a blister infected in his foot swollen. And again, with it being a shorter turnaround, you haven't really got the time. The squad would go in on a Friday normally, so we'd have had the time to make some adjustments. We didn't have the time, so we sacrificed the sub, took the chance of it, but we're back in our fitness there, in the sense that we know how fit we are and we know how far we can go. I don't think we made it look obvious or pretty tonight, but it was enough in the end. But there was some really good stuff in, and I've got to give Zach a big rap before I go into Corey, but Zach, it's his first ever proper injury, and it's a difficult thing to do, to put your hand up when your team needs you, when you're not 100% sure how you're going to get on. We did all the right things to make sure he was right, but he didn't know until he got out there, and I thought he had an outstanding contribution, to be honest. And yeah, with Corey, I think he had an hand in 4 tries, 40-20. Yeah, he was in amongst it, got himself busy, did what we asked him to do in the week, and I've got to commend him on his attitude and how he's come through this week. He was playing with all his pals last week here at Sheffield, who he's been in the trenches with the last few weeks, and he really did himself credit tonight, I thought.
Was there any doubt putting it in because of the situation that he has been in playing with Sheffield, going to play against Sheffield?
No, in the end he's our player, isn't he? And that's the reason he's at Sheffield, for him to be fit when called upon, and he's fit. He looked sharp tonight as well, which again is why he's on loan playing as opposed to playing reserves every couple of weeks, which doesn't help anyone. Yeah, really happy for him. We're getting to that business end now. And funnily enough, last year, this 23rd game would have been the prelim against Whitehaven, and we were absolutely shot to pieces and busted. So I'll give Nick physio, Matt physio, Scott, at S&C. Big raps on making sure they're fit and durable. We've got a lot of blokes who are in far better shape than they were last year, getting sort of strung together to get out in those last few games. But I think we're in a good position physically. That might take a couple of days to get over for me, certainly anyway. But mentally in a good position going into this last phase of the season.
I've got a little bit of a longer time off until our next game week on Sunday against Newcastle. Is it a good chance to have some busted bodies rested before that game?
Yeah, 100%. I think we had a load of weekends off at the beginning of the year, and then this last third is 12 on the bounce. But obviously Sheffield playing their games on a Friday affords us that opportunity to get a weekend, and the weather's brilliant. Everyone gets opportunity to get some brownie points in, spend a bit of time with the missus, kids, and do all those little bits and bobs. So we'll take advantage of that, and we'll roll into Newcastle next week.
Any news on any injuries from tonight? I know Zach went down a little while.
I think Zach just got a knee to the back head, just stunned him a bit. Not sure other than that, to be quite honest. They were all up jumping around singing the winning song anyway, so they can't be too bad.